Hello friends, in this presentation today we will try to understand wireless mesh network, which is a communication technology for smart grid. Now the term wireless mesh network describes the network in which each node can communicate directly with one or more peer nodes. So you can find here through this sentence that a node can be either a client or a host. That is, it can work as a host as well as a router. Now, what does the term mesh mean? So it simply suggests that all the nodes were interconnected together. So this is all connected mesh together will be a subset of a node to each other. So this is how the mesh is all about. It's very different from the traditional wireless networks which was existing earlier. And even if there is a two side-by-side infrastructure node available, it has to correspond with each other and it has to send data to each other through the access points. So nodes will be always comprised of two things. It will have a mesh router and a mesh clients. And each node will operate not only as a host but also as a router as I discussed earlier. So the forwarding packet on behalf of other nodes that may not be within direct wireless could be reaching to the destination through other routes as well. So the wireless mesh network is dynamically self-organized and self-configured. So with the nodes in the network automatically establishing and maintaining the mesh connectivity among themselves. So they are dynamically interacting with each other, the nodes which are available nearby, and they are self-organizing and self-configuring the data which has to be communicated. Now these nodes will have two types of, that is mesh routers and the mesh client as we discussed earlier. Now, what are the architectures which are available for wireless mesh network? We have basically three types of architecture, that is infrastructure meshing, then client mesh networking, and the third hybrid mesh networking. So as the name suggests, we are rather focusing on infrastructure. That is, the mesh routers will definitely include the infrastructure of the client that connects them. So we'll be focusing on the infrastructure of the client. So that can be built using different types of radio technologies. Again, we discussed earlier also, this will be self-configured and self-healing links among themselves. Let's see the architecture depiction. So you have an architecture depiction like this. So you will have an internet and wireless mesh backbone where the mesh routers and the gateway are communicating with each other, and the access points, Wi-Fi, the cellular, WiMAX, and all other things are outside this particular wireless mesh network. Next, moving ahead, we have a client wire mesh network. So the word suggests client. So there will be a peer-to-peer networking among the client devices. So the client nodes will constitute actual network to perform the routing and configuration functionalities. So the packet destined to a node or to a destination, it will hop throughout the multiple nodes before reaching the destination. So there can be one type of radios on the device. So this is how the client WMN will interact. And you can see here the depiction is given. The mesh clients are interacting among themselves, and hopping of data takes place and it will finally reach to the destination. Third is the wireless or hybrid. So in hybrid wireless mesh network, obviously it will be combination of the both infrastructure as well as the client meshing. So it will have the properties of both the infrastructure as well as client. Now this can access the network through mesh routers as well as directly meshing with the other mesh clients. So the infrastructure will provide the connectivity to all different networks such as internet, Wi-Fi, WiMAX, cellular, and so on and so forth. So basically, wireless mesh network will be utilized in order to get connect with other technologies, that is Wi-Fi, WiMAX, cellular, and so on. Thank you very much. I hope you have understood this particular concept.